Hello, back with another live stream. Hope everybody's doing well today as we prepare to talk about episode 5 from this past Wednesday. Um, but yes, sound check. Just checking the channel. Okay, so I need to turn it down a little bit more, I think. And we should be good to go. So I need to turn it down. Alright, so like I said, hope everybody's doing well today during this live stream. If you're watching this later, be sure to, if you feel up to it, leave some comments, comment section below of the video after the stream is over. As always, these streams are harping on if people pop in and we just have a good old time, chill and enjoy each other's company. But I'm just going to be talking about specific scenes within the episode. Like I put in the community tab for my rating, because I was asking you all, what did you all think of episode 5 for season 2? And my rating was a 5. Like one up, I think, if I remember correctly, I had ranked episode 4 a 4 last week, if I remember correctly. Give me 1 second. Oops. But either way, I rewatching a little bit of episode 5. I feel like there were certain spots within the episode that was cool. There were other things that, of course, within the episode itself, and I might do a video on this, but it just, it kind of felt just like there wasn't really anything per the story. I kind of feel like they are going the route that where the first few or several episodes, even probably like 6, 7, 8, might be more of a down thing. Where it's just like the story isn't moving forward. They're just doing other stuff on the side before we get to the actual main course of the meal of this second season. Because we know that even with last was season 1, that there too were episodes that weren't very high within the show. And I feel like when reading other comments from other people, many fans are looking for, something from these episodes each week. In the past 2, I would at least the past 2, because episode 3 was with Cody and Crosshair. That episodes 4 and 5 just went down, and for a lot of fans. But there were spots that the episode did indeed capture me, but then most of the episode was just like, it was cool, you know what I mean? That's why I would say it was just like it was a 5. But with that, we do get some connections to other stuff, possibly at least, with what occurred towards the end of the second half of the episode. Because like the first half was literally just kind of straightforward thing. Once they got to the place and in there and figure out where they were going. And plus, of course, we got the split up. We'll talk about all of that too here today. But all in all, the episode itself was just, for the most part, just cool. And hopefully episode 6 next Wednesday will be a little bit better. That hopefully I can maybe give episode 7 maybe like a 7 at best. That's what I'm thinking. Per the title as well, looks like we might actually get something plot wise per episode 6 next week, but we'll see what happens. But I do know for sure that we will be getting I think it's in like 2 weeks we're getting 2 episodes instead of just 1. So that's going to be interesting. And also too, I might have to do a video where some fans were saying, and I feel like people do need to be patient with the show, just like with Andor. For those who came back or kept watching, was getting a little bored, but then it finally picked up, that people just need to be patient and allow things to flow in hopes that things will be on the up. Now again, for this second season, I believe it's 13, 14, or 15, maybe 16 episodes in total. So maybe most of the episodes will be plot threaded, while a few of them will be, feeling like a filler. We'll see what happens. But all in all, let's jump into what I just wanted to talk about. Again, hopefully some folks will pop in. If not, it is all good. I'm going to try to be quick here, but with the opening of the episode, we do see that the homie Wrecker and Omega were out. They were at the junkyard scavenging, hunting for whatever they could find. But I do like, per this episode, I do like the fact that they hinted at what Omega was going to eventually do, and it was just this moment here. She was holding this piece of glass that was broken. She's basically holding it like a compass, and she was just like looking through it. To me, this hinted at what she was going to end up doing with the compass moving forward. And then, of course, they hinted at it more once they got back to Sid's, and they started having a conversation with Fee and talking about what's getting ready to occur with what they wanted to do. That's why I was just saying, like, this specific spot here, before they ended up leaving the junkyard, it was just a hint. And we see a lot of ships in the junkyard too. I was thinking we're going to see some other stuff here, and I know that Omega opened this one hatch, and of course there's the compass on the far right of where she's facing. But then they also had some other stuff in here that was like, maybe there was something else, but that wasn't the case at all. She picked up this thing here. Wrecker grabbed what he grabbed, and then they just kind of just moved from there to, with Omega holding the compass in her right hand. But like I said, I kind of felt like that thing that's in her left hand could have been something too, but just wasn't really sure. Wasn't too sure. But once we got back to Fee's, that's when we get, once we got back to Sid's, that's when we get Fee talking about the story. Echo saying what he says to the crew about how this, Fee tells the same story, but she changes it up. And I kind of like how in this scene that both, if I could find it, where are you? That both of them, they were Hunter and them, they were just like really just like listening, but not trying to really hear what Fee was talking about. It was just cracking me up for real. I really did like that spot here. But again, once we got to what Fee was talking about, that's when, we see that Omega had pulled out the stuff. Because I kind of also feel like, Will, what's going on, dude? How are you? Period. She was making up as she was going along. She even said something specific that lets us know, but it was later in the episode. She kind of specifically tells us, the viewers, that yes, she's making stuff up, but there's a little bit of truth to what she's saying, just a smidge. Because that's how I feel when I'm listening to Fee talk. I'm like, 95% of what she's saying is just like nonsense. It's bullcrap. There's no truth behind it, but there is a chance for 5% of it to being a little bit of truth. But once again, Omega puts the stuff down and Fee picks it up. She picks the compass up. That's when we roll with what we're getting ready to roll with. And then, like I said, they did hint at what Omega was going to be doing. I mean, of course, Fee opens it up a little bit. We see the markings here. I want to say the language on the inside of the compass, just around where the peak hole is there. And like I said, once she called Mel over, and then Mel shines a light, then we see this glowing purple light here, and that's when we get the gist of what Omega is going to be doing moving forward. And once we see that color purple there, this lets us know there's something about this compass that is going to play a key role in the episode. And plus, like I said, with Omega, and like I said, that's why I was saying earlier, a few minutes ago, way back at the beginning, this is what we see with Omega here, where it's just a hint of what she's going to be doing with the compass moving forward. So I just like that at the very beginning, and then we get the compass itself. And then once we get moving forward, I do like the spots. I definitely always like Star Wars when they put the planets, around each other, the moons or whatever, the sun, the star or whatever. I do like the look here. Whenever ships are flying towards a planet, and that's one of the things that I do love, because I'm always paying attention to the surrounding area of the planet itself, seeing what other planets may be around stars and stuff like that. So I do like that about Star Wars as always. What's this? Okay. And I also, because I did talk about this in my video Wednesday, that I did like the chemistry between Fee and Omega, because Omega, I definitely do feel like she was more kiddish in this episode, just being a child. She looked up to Fee. She literally kind of just like did everything Fee did. She has her feet up here. Once they land on the planet itself, she's basically like mimicking Fee. Even here, Fee, once they get to the planet, she goes down and leans down and grabs something. Omega's doing the same, as you can see right next to her. She's reaching out to grab some stuff. So she, per the two characters here, their chemistry, from as far as my viewership of episode 5, I truly enjoyed how they were, how Omega was like really mimicking Fee. She you could tell that she wants to kind of, in a sense, be a pirate like how Fee is, because she's enthralled with the stories that she's telling her. Basically the mostly lies, a little bit of truth, but she's just enthralled in it. And Fee, you could tell she loves to hear herself talk. She's enjoying it. She's really enjoying the conversation that she has with anybody when she's telling a story, like how we saw back at Sid's as well. She's eating up all of it. She loves, like I said, the sound of her voice when she's talking and stuff. But then also too, once they land, even before they land, you can kind of tell per this shot here that specific machine had already been used on this planet, and how the laser was shooting into the ground. Like there was definitely a battle here. There's a lot of people saying like the Zepho more than likely are the people, species or whatever that were here on this planet, more than likely Force users, all of that. They were here and they used this type of technology. I kind of felt like maybe possibly the ancient Dark Lords of the Sith, possibly the ones that used this type of technology as well. But again, like I said, this landscape here looks like there was definitely a battle here. You could tell, but again, it's just that we didn't know what specifically what was going on even after they got into the underground area, basically the machine itself. But let me see. What was I getting ready to say? But also due to after they get here, they land. Something specific with the trees, like with the trees surrounding and all of that too. It looks like there's ash on the ground, like more than likely, again, like because of the machine being here, there's more likely other machines that were around at the time that these are ashes of bodies that they're walking on. That's kind of what I was looking at here when I was doing my rewatch. It's just all over the trees, just all over the ground, but they don't know that that's what they're walking on. It's just like ash just everywhere. And even like you get even more of a close up on this one tree behind Phi and Omega while they're following the compass into where they're going. But also too, the one other thing that I did enjoy about the episode was the music. Just it definitely had that Indiana Jones feel to it once they got inside the cave. Let me see. And once they got in here, then also to the pillars, I guess you would call them pillars here, that it had a Fifth Element feel to it, like them in the movie, with the shapes, how they were carved. I think I have a closer shot. Let me see. Yeah, once Omega uses the compass, I think I got another shot if I can find it. Again, it had that Fifth Element feel to it, as well as Indiana Jones, because again, like I said, the music was also kind of hyping up a lot of stuff too. Once they got the cave to fully function the way they, before the traps started to hit and Omega figuring out stuff. But once she did using the compass, that's when we got what we needed to get. And like I said, the music started to hype up specific stuff, but nothing was really happening. It was just, they were just walking through the cave. Of course, they walked across some traps and stuff like that. And we almost lost Hunter in this scene here. But, it was just pretty much a straight shot. The one of my critiques, though, of the episode is when they did indeed get separated, because you just knew it was gonna happen. They did, of course, give us the creature here, seeming like a guardian, probably more than likely here for however long, hundreds of years or whatever, maybe 1,000. But it was only just one that I found to be interesting. And that's one of my other critiques, is we only see this creature here when it's attacking Wrecker, right? And it doesn't come back until the end of the episode. That was the other thing that I wanted to talk about, was that because the creature pops up one time, attacks Wrecker, and then disappears. Let's see if I can find it. Right, attacks him. They're trying to fend for, help Wrecker, save him, shooting at it and stuff. That only popped up just one time, and then of course we get the split up. Right? Is this it? Yeah, we get them getting split up, and only Omega with the compass. You would think that there would be more of a possible scene with the monster itself going after at least these three, while Hunter, Omega, and Phi are trying to figure stuff out. But that just didn't happen. Just like the creature just knew where they were at and waited till they got there. That's what I'm saying, trying to say. I was just like, maybe the creature could have popped up another time, maybe one or two other times, and moved from there. But it was just a straight shot to where they needed to go. And then, of course, like I said, Omega using the compass to put it in the section that it needs to go. I think I got... Yeah, when she put it into the section, it just really lights up those blue lights or purple lights, whatever, and then they decide to move forward. And then, like I said, that's when we get the reuniting of the crew, where I was just like, that was just like how Vader said in Empire Strikes Back, all too easy, right? When they finally came back around. So that's why I'm saying, like, I wish that they would have probably possibly had that creature pop back up at least one or two other times before getting to this point where, you know, they were where Omega, Fee, and Hunter were. If they did that, then maybe it would have added something to the episode before we initially got to where we needed to go, which was, you know, this thing here. And it makes me question and wonder, with this, you know, how many times was this machine used? Why did it, you know, why when they put it back after it was activated, why did, you know, well, of course, why did that crystal like thing melt away? Like, are there a specific amount of times that you can only use that to like pull it out the machine for it to activate and then put it back? That's what I'm kind of wondering, because I felt like the machine, it may even been like a safety net for the machine to kind of just like do what it did, and it blew up. So, you know, again, once we get the machine doing what it's doing, it's just literally, like I said earlier, per the landscape of where they landed, the machine was already doing stuff here, more than likely a battle here, and the machine ended up getting just put down there, safe wise. Maybe safe wise, maybe not. I don't know. Who knows for sure? Maybe it was a Zepho, maybe it was Ancient Dark Lords of the Sith, and maybe the Jedi, not the Jedi, but the Jedi. You know, who knows for sure. But I definitely love how Fee was a pirate. She was really clinging to the crystal thing here. She didn't want to let it go. But with that, because the monster pops back into the fold, she almost lost her life. But of course, you know, she gets saved by Hunter, and we basically get ready to prepare for, again, the monster to pop back in, and wondering, let's see, wondering what's gonna happen next. But definitely RIP to Mel, even though like I was just like, no, I literally blurred out, I was like, no, Mel, it's gone, like, no. But you know, we found out that, you know, that Fee, just like she has backup memory, she could just remake them within, I think she said within a week or something like that. But this spot here was just like, man, like, poor Mel, right? Rest in peace for now. Rip for now. And I mean, that was pretty much everything. Like I said, the monster pops back in. They're doing what they're doing with the monster. Their weapons can't hurt it like at all. And it kind of harvers back to me like maybe Omega's gonna get an upgraded bow and arrow type of weapon, because her usage of it is not really beneficial in battle, as we're noticing. She's not really doing any real damage really at all. But I definitely like this spot here when Wrecker threw the monster out the window. Definitely like this spot here when he's just standing there. It's just like that look. I definitely like that towards the end of this episode. And then of course we officially finally get them putting the crystal back. Tech and Omega, which I was thinking that maybe because Tech tripped or something like that. I don't know what it was. I think he tripped and he dropped it. He had dropped the crystal at the time before trying to put it back, but he was able to get it in there. and then we get it exploding, officially getting it exploding every which way before it falls down to the ground, and it, blows up, which their ship is pretty much saved. And then they go to daybreak, they have the conversation, and there's another story that Fee brings up to everybody. And of course, we get the infamous, because I love Hunter's looks when he looks upset. I want to say irritated, all of this, but of course that's when he shakes his head, and he said, he just like, okay, all right, that's, he smiles and he just moves forward, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. But all in all, the keynotes of the episode is just that, we could focus on just the small stuff that the crew did as a whole. Even Fee, and like I said, Fee and Omega's bond that they were building over this one episode. And like I said, Omega felt like more of a child in this episode, even more than any of the past ones, where she would just step in and try to take over things, and Hunter would agree to do what she would want them to do. And to me, it's like Omega still needs to be taught, because Tech was even in episode 4 last week, was even showing her some stuff and teaching her some stuff. So it was just like, why can't, or was it episode 4? Was it episode 1? I think it was episode 1. Where she's just like, learning to become who she would want to be moving forward. But at the same time, still being a child, reacting like a child. She was doing that great here in episode 5 with her conversations with Fee, how they were reacting to, how she was reacting to her, and everything like that, and just looking up to Fee, which is, to me, is a great sign for Omega's character. But like I said, all in all, the episode itself was just like half good, but not not great or anything like that for the second straight week for me. But again, there was just certain spots, and again, of course, like I said, maybe possibly the Zepho, or the reason for the ship. Maybe it's the Dark Lords, it's the Sith, maybe it's the Jedi. Who knows for sure? Because they were talking about how Tech was saying how it was over 1,000 years, but Fee's like saying it's more than that, and you're just like, how far, how many actual years? Is it an extra 1,000, extra few thousand? It's just something that maybe possibly could be something that could be tied into the Bad Batch story, maybe something else, maybe something historical moving forward. But all in all, the episode itself was just it was just okay. And like I said, just the music, the feel of it feeling like Indiana Jones, and other things did bring a little bit of joy to me. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully episode 6 next week will be better, where I'm hoping to give it like a 7 or 8. We'll see. We will see. I mean, even if it's a 6, I'll take a 6. But all in all, season 2 has had its moments, but it hasn't. So just wondering what's going to be coming down the line once these episodes move forward, as I'm still patiently waiting for something within the plot itself, something that connects Rampart to the crew. Of course, bring Crosshair back in. Maybe we'll possibly, more than likely, see Cody come back an episode. So we will see what happens once these episodes move forward. But with that, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I need to get ready to go to bed soon because I'm tired. Got to get up and go to work tomorrow. A little bit of a busy day within itself, but hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening and the night. Stay safe, stay humble, and remember,